The podcast has been getting views and listens. You guys are excited that the podcast is back. And ultimately, Hunter, I mean, there was a time I remember when I told you, and I tried to do it. I said to you, like, dude, I just want to kind of be a podcaster.
You did say that. Yeah.
And we tried
You
it.
love
We tried to whip up a Patreon. We tried to I wanted it, and I could see the vision. Even now I could maybe see the vision. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm such a chaotic fuck. You know, one of my biggest issues in life, bro, and we're going to get into this here in just a second, but it's just feeling such a blaze of glory that does inspire action near the beginning of something. But then as that blaze of glory wanes, as does the action, right?
Damn.
And so
Yeah.
and so it's like we've kind of had these crazy ideas like Man Camp and the Patreon for the podcast and only doing the podcast. And then it's like I start to get spooked when things don't work right away. In a sense. Because it's like, but also that's kind of good because, again, with this business model, with Evolution Daily, the Aaron Alexander brand, the people want two things. They want the podcast and they want the infield. So fuck my feelings. We're just going to keep providing to you guys everything that you want. And I will be
Hell
your
yeah.
dancing. I'll be your dancing cloud, your dancing monkey for the rest of fucking eternity. Speaking of which, there was an episode I think we put out last week where I said, and if you are watching this on YouTube, just switch over to Spotify. Today I'm going to tell you to do the opposite. If you're listening, then get on YouTube because Hunter and I are dressed to the fucking nines, dude.
We look ridiculous.
We look like stars. We're fucking strawberry watermelon up in this bitch. It's
We're the guys where if we walk to the club like this, every woman's head will turn and break their neck.
Yes. Yep. And that's what I'm hoping is going to happen this weekend. I'm actually headed down to Miami for a boot camp.
Nice.
And that is why I actually decided to try this outfit on. Which, guys, I just want to share with you before we jump into the topic of today's episode, which is the Hope is Truth. Hope is Truth is going to be the name of this episode. And I look forward to expanding upon that idea with Alpha Chad here. I bought this outfit that I'm wearing right now, this strawberry outfit, and I wore it to a rave in August, I want to say it was. And so I wore the strawberry outfit, and then because it's such cheap polyester bullshit made out of fucking Chinese, I don't even know, dude, like Chinese grocery bags that they turned into a shirt. Well, I washed it one time, just not thinking anything of it, and it shrunk to such a level that I thought to myself, I will never be able to wear this again. But I kept it in, even if I like lost weight, I thought I'm not going to be able to wear this again. But I kept it because I was like, I'll give it to somebody. Maybe one of like my skinny friends
Right.
or somebody real small, like I can give it away. And then the other day, I wanted the outfit again so bad. And I was for Miami specifically, and I was about to buy it again. And I go, you know what, dude? You've been working hard. You've been leaning out. You've been fucking eating nothing but steak, eggs, and now avocados every single day. Your weight's down significantly. You know, I'm down, let me think, 17 pounds from January 1st. So,
Wow, nice.
so I thought to myself, you know, let's put this bitch on. Let's put this bitch. So I go to put this bitch on and it fucking fits. So I'm wearing it to Miami and I'm wearing it on this goddamn podcast.
The women are going to notice. They're going to be like, I saw you last year. You were fat. You couldn't wear that shirt.
They absolutely. Yes, they're going to, and it's going to be a peacock. This is going to be a peacocking outfit, and it's going to provide a lot of fun. And I think that, you know, wearing this out is going to help me to even draw more bitches into my students, allowing them to get into some more sets. So I think that's going to be good. Guys, before we jump in here, boot camps coming up this spring and summer. So spring is going to be all of Europe. If you are one of the European listeners, you need to go to CoachAaronAlexander.com. That link will be somewhere. Just type it in. I'm done with this, like, you know, oh, click the link. Like, you always got to click. Just type it in. Use your fat, greasy fucking fingers and go to CoachAaronAlexander.com and sign up for the boot camps in Europe. And then definitely sign up for LA and New York. And Alpha Chad, we got to try to get you out to the LA one.
Whoa. Damn, I haven't even been thinking about doing boot camps. That'd be cool.
We got to get
That
you
could be
out to
fun.
the LA one. I mean, you and I talk behind the scenes about potential situations here. We got to see what both of us really wants in life, but ultimately, I think that would be cool, and I think you could justify it. Like if I paid you a good amount and you had a vacation day or two, and you came out for the adventure, and I think it would be good.
That could be a good
so
time.
maybe we'll get Alpha Chad out to the LA boot camp. But yeah, listen, guys, this is my last year coaching in the field. So if you live near, what's funny?
Just you saying it's your last year coaching.
This is my last year coaching in the field.
Why?
So why do you not believe it? It's true.
I
So
don't
if
believe
you
it.
guys live in LA or New York or near them, you have to sign up for this boot camp because this will be your last opportunity to work with me in person. So yeah, make sure you sign up, coachaaronalexander.com. And if you just want to send me money too, like tithe. There was a guy named Floyd and he sent me tithe one time. I had nothing for sale for $75, but I got a $75 PayPal deposit or whatever. And I hit him up and I go, "What the fuck is that?" He goes, I'm big into believing in spiritual tithe. So I've been watching your videos and loving them, so I decided to send you $75. So,
Wow.
So guys, if you're listening to this right now, go to Aaron the God on Venmo, and anything you send that is just under podcast tithe, I will split 50-50 with Hunter. So
Whoa.
it's again, it's Aaron the God, Aaron the God. It's me and a bulldog. I'm wearing a beanie, and it's a fat fucking bulldog. So send me the tithe, and that's
I've never heard of tithe.
Tithe is typically a Christian. It's what you call your donations to the church. It's spiritual
Yeah.
tithe. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Just supporting.
all right. Well, that just send that over to Aaron the God, and that wraps up everything for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show. We look forward to bringing you this value every single week. Alpha Chad, we did an episode last week that's not going to go out.
You're not gonna put it out, huh?
I'm not. No.
Damn.
No. That modafinil, which it was an accident, I did not want to take it. I accidentally took modafinil last week, and I took it in the past. So what I realized about it is if you have something that you need to really lock into. So let's say I had 20 videos filmed and I needed to sit here and edit all day long. Modafinil is the GOAT. I mean, my focus is insane. For socializing, for being in a verbal flow, all of that, nothing. I actually
last
remember the
week-
last time I did. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Last week, Aaron and I did the podcast, and it's just he was just not in the headspace for a podcast, and he's
do
like,
it.
I took modafinil. So
Couldn't do it. I remember I
Damn.
tried modafinil for the first time a while ago. I did a coaching call, and I think at the end of it, I even said to the student, I was like, "Was this valuable, man? Like I fucking took modafinil. I feel like I can't even talk. It makes me feel so weird, but very focused." So, yeah, dude, things are good. And now, yeah, I'm lean enough to wear this strawberry shirt. Gonna go do this Miami boot camp. It's gonna be good. You're working on some YouTube videos, huh?
yeah, I'm trying to start a YouTube channel. I got a cameraman of my own. I'm gonna film like 12 different vids, and then I'm hoping in the next 3 months from now I can launch the channel and start uploading them, and it's gonna hopefully we'll see what happens, But it's fun. I guess fun skits, but they're less skits and just more me, just going on adventures, I guess.
Yeah. I think we all need some creative outlet, and I think that when you're a kid, your life, especially our generation, people our age, right? Almost our age, fucking specifically, where we grew up without all this shit. We grew up without the internet, or if we had it, it was a little bullshit thing. You logged on at school once a fucking month or whatever. And so you used your imagination. I know you and all your friends were running around you were shoving dicks in little horses and making little videos of it and stuff like that. So it's like we use this imagination so much. And now that everything is fed to us, there is never a need for imagination. And there's never a need for introspective thought. This is why you've tried to tone down your neuroses, which is good, but I know that you still occasionally go out to the field and do inner work. Like, I don't want to call it inner work. You just think out your shit, right?
Yeah, yeah, very much. Yeah, for sure. Nowadays I don't even do that.
Does it?
Yeah,
what do you
no,
do
for
now?
sure. Well, I work a job where I drive for like 8 to 10 hours, so I get it all out during getting paid. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. So now I get paid to think. How cool is that?
Dude, no, that's awesome. And yeah, I mean, that's why I'm such a big proponent of these phoneless walks. I know that there's a lot of you guys listening right now that you haven't done a fucking 1 mile phoneless walk maybe ever in your life. Literally maybe ever in your life, but then let's just say in the last year, and now that skyrockets up to like 99% probably. So we're not going to rant about that the whole time. You know, that is a recurring theme, and I think it comes up so often because I just hear it's what's going on in the world. It's not just what's going on in the world. It's the pandemic. It's like being in the middle of 2021 and being like, well, let's stop talking about it's what's going on in the world right now. And this right now is the bigger pandemic. Your minds, your imaginations, your ambitions are being robbed of you by big tech, and you are allowing it to happen every single day. If there is one piece of content, this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to not listen to anything or watch anything except for this podcast from here on out, because this podcast will save your life. And I'm going to drop a bonus episode next week, I decided as well. I did something the other day where I turned the camera on and I said, let's just do 20 minutes of day game stream of consciousness. And that was it. And actually, bro,
Nice.
I'll share with you real quick because we talked about this before we started. You know what I did, man? I told you this was my first high-effort YouTube video in a long time.
Yeah.
The one that I just dropped. And
Yep.
you know what I did to prepare for it was before I made the video, I decided I'm going to sit in front of the camera and just talk about this subject for 20 minutes and see what happens.
That's cool.
And then some of the nuggets from that stream of consciousness made it into the video and influenced parts of the video.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like an interesting. Well, guys, what would happen? What would happen if you guys just sat in front of a fucking camera and talked for an hour? What would happen? Think about these
Actually,
guys.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I got this because I started doing this YouTube stuff, and you were here just a few months ago. My house was like dirty. I was kind of living in squalor. I'm on like a new vibe right now. Dude, like honestly, like it's come from like I had this mentality where I just like if I get too frenetic, because it's starting to feel like a business almost, because I'm like constantly like I have like lists of shit to do, and so it's like when I get like overwhelmed, I'm just like, what's one action I can do? And it'll be like something very simple, like clean one dish in the sink or something. And so that leads to just momentum. If you just like, let's say you just don't even know what to do, it doesn't even matter, because you could just start doing some things that you know you need to do, and then you get in this mood, and then where you're action taking, and then suddenly you're like, you know, if I'm going to be doing stuff, how about instead of pulling my mom's weeds, I come up with a plan for a way to make money in the next few months, or maybe I should go out and talk to girls this week. Like, you start thinking like that once you start just taking some action. And I think there is a correlation between like people with messy rooms or just like not like, you know, their life's in shambles in like the physical realm to them like taking action in like a way that, you know, is really meaningful to them and everything.
Yep. I remember a long time ago when we talked about organization and cleanliness and stuff. I remember you taught me that expression that your room is your mind.
Yes.
And I've applied that more so to like my entire apartment in a sense where when I am the most chaotic and I feel overwhelmed and stressed out, I look around and the place is a disaster. And
Right,
legitimately through the act of just cleaning the fuck out of your... Dude, try, to anybody out there, try to, if you're in a negative headspace, try to clean your entire place spotless and sit down and then see if you are still in the same negative headspace. It's fucking impossible.
And you'd be surprised too how many times like you're just going through your life and you look at like some corner of the room and you're like disgusted by it. And then you have that one day where you just give that whole area a deep cleaning and you move the dresser and you sweep behind it and you clean everything off. Like, you know what I mean? You do that kind of detail work to something. Mentally, it's like very freeing on the like to the same level as it is to like how clean that area is now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, definitely. It's and I preach this to my little brother all the time too. We talk about a little bit more serious stuff sometimes or whatever, and I'm like, bro, you got to clean that room. You live in squalor, you know. You got to clean that room, and he's gonna clean it. He's gonna clean it all up. Maybe I'll beep that out. I don't know. Who cares? My brother has a dirty room. It used to be my room. I lost my virginity in that room. But let's go ahead and jump into the topic of of this episode. I think it's going to be really good. So, look, hope is the truth. And what we just discussed here actually really does go into this. It's sort of along the same train of thought. And so this is what I mean when I say that hope is the truth. So I am going to speak now to, I would say, Americans and Europeans that are not living on the streets. Okay? So I'm not talking to the Colombian father of 8 who's making $1 an hour. I'm not talking to the fucking starving African child. I don't care. Okay? I'm talking to Americans and Europeans who are not living on the street. So, if that's you, then the truth. So, hope is the truth. This is where this kind of came from. What that means is, so I view hope. We'll start here. I view hope as the most powerful fuel that there is. That's how I view hope. So you have situations where somebody who maybe their entire life has never been able to fast for more than 12 hours, and yet they end up in a situation where they're on the verge of starving to death potentially, and they somehow make it 20 days, right? They make it 20 days without eating, and they survived and whatever. And obviously, yes, they were forced into that, but the hope of potentially being able to survive, that is what kept them going. There are so many situations where people are able to really go past the bounds of human nature with hope. And so where I'm going with this is hope inspires action. And so when I say hope is truth, here's what I mean. For all of you guys listening right now, let's say you're down and out. You got no money, you got no hoes, you're fat, everything's fucked. Well, if you had all the hope in the world, what would you hope for? You know, you would hope then for a better body, for more women, for a better apartment, for a better life. You would hope for these things. All of that is actually obtainable. Therefore, making your hopes the truth. Hope is the truth. And so what I've realized is that negativity is cope. The truth is hope, and negativity is cope. Because what negativity allows you to do, by being one of these realists, I'm not negative, I'm just a realist. I just see things as they are. By being a negative little pussy bitch, what you're actually doing is you're coping because you want to be negative so that way you don't have to look at the truth that is actual hope for your life, because it's going to require a lot of fucking work. So negativity and being a downer is actually cope for not wanting to work more, not wanting to put in effort, not wanting to face the uncomfortable nature of this life. And so I would just say to anybody, I just noticed my background turned off, man, I'm pissed about it. I would just say to anybody that's listening to this that you have to use hope as fuel in order for you to actually go out and do the bare minimum actions. They're going to take you to better places in this life. They're going to actually get you laid with that dime piece girl. You have to first go out and approach some fours at the mall. That's got to happen. Do you have any thoughts on this, or should I keep ranting?
So I've actually done a lot of like spiritual work on what you're calling hope. I call faith, which like is this idea of like it all ties into beliefs. And we've talked about this in another podcast too, where like beliefs versus like pessimism, right? And how like people who are pessimistic are literally like throwing themselves off of like their best life by just literally choosing to believe something that they could believe the opposite. it's very hard to teach any individual beliefs who is like pessimistic in any way, because what they don't realize is law of attraction's working even when you're pessimistic. You choose to believe that these things don't work, and then the universe goes, sure, here's more of that. Here's more feeling like it doesn't work. And then it's just like people trying to be right instead of trying to be happy. And like that is like a huge thing. Like, dude, like I think like the people that are actually gonna make it in life are the ones that have to choose. That you literally have to decide. Like everyone listening for themselves, like you have to decide. Like, do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? And like being right is like hard for some people because it's like, I don't know, maybe just in childhood you had like parents who always argued and you always had to like win against each other in a fight of some sort. Or maybe like, you know, it just makes you feel righteous, or, you know, maybe it's your way of venting. You know, maybe you need friends to go hug it out when you're sad. Like, but instead you don't have that. So you need to vent by like being right and walking away every time with like this badge of honor. Like, yeah, well, you know, things work the way I think they do, you know, like you get to be right. And like, I think that happiness and being right are like actually exact opposite points. And you have to actually like choose happiness. And what happiness looks like once you take that path is like, you're not going to be right. Other people are going to be right. They're going to be commenting how much of a loser you are as you make millions of dollars. They're going to be saying that like, this doesn't work, that's never going to work while you win. They're going to tell you got lucky. They're going to say you're lucky, all this luck, everything. I'd rather be lucky and happy than like unlucky and unhappy. Like, right? Like, doesn't that sound logical? Like, but people want to be right, and it's this ego thing. It really is ego. But at the same time, it does tie into the beliefs, the faith, and the hope and lack of it, which I do think that you need to kind of just have that vision. And even that is just trying to be right. Like, if you say, like, oh, I don't believe I can do it, you're, like, secretly trying to be right instead of being happy. Like, you're like, trying to say, like, yeah, like, I don't think I could do it. Therefore, I'm going to sit here and then be satisfied with that answer of, like, well, see, it's still not happening. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're not getting off your ass, so you get to be right. But yeah, I think it's all tied together, like hope, faith, beliefs, pessimism, happiness. Like it's all this thing where you just need to decide which side of the fence you're on.
And I made a Facebook post a couple days ago where I said, your mission doesn't have to be noble.
Yeah.
There's this sort of nobility that people who succeed and sort of become some sort of an influencer or some sort of a coach or something, there's always this very noble mission that they stay out into the world. And so, you know, the noble mission might be something like, my mission is to just impact as many people as possible, to be the best versions of themselves that they can you know, like my mission is to change the world and this and that, whatever. And so then sometimes I'll talk to young kids. I'll talk to like a 19-year-old, right? Who's like, you know, we'll get to talking and he'll be like, yeah, like my mission is just to like really help others. And I've realized like that's my mission on this planet. It's like, no, it's not. You don't have to lie to me, but it's not. It is not you are not Jesus Christ. If this was your mission, you would be willing to sacrifice all of your little creature comforts right now, and you would be able to then go to when's the last time you went to the soup kitchen? Wouldn't your mission be drawing you to go already be helping motherfuckers if that was actually your mission? I think it would. And so the mission doesn't have to be noble. The mission for you as a man can be, it is okay, guys, for the mission literally to be, I want to make, I don't know what this number is yet, but I want to make as much money as humanly possible. And somebody might come to you and go, well, why? How is that money going to satisfy? I'm not sure. I know that I'll be more comfortable, and I don't know, I grew up poor. I want to make as much money as possible to, like, break free from that. You don't owe anybody an explanation for your fucking mission. It's also okay to have a mission of, like, right now you're a 25-year-old virgin, to be like, I want to fuck 100 women between now and 30 and then marry a hot chick. That's a great mission as well. And so the point of bringing up that this mission does not have to be noble in any way is that when you decide to give up all hope and you decide to give up all faith and you just decide to be a realist and the world will be flooded anyways in 20 years, you have abandoned your mission, and therefore your body will begin to respond. your body will begin to respond to the fact that you have no mission, and you will begin to decay. Your vision will get worse. Your body will become more decrepit. You will wake up in the morning more tired. Your body will be able to sense that there is no mission. So to any of you motherfuckers out there who you think you're going to wake up soon and realize that, like, guitar is your mission, your passion, and making music or helping others or whatever, start with fucking the missions of common creatures, which is to fucking get laid, make money, I don't know, draw some shit. Were you like an artist when you were a kid and you're like fucking wanting to get back into it? Like, just create some missions. Have it be a mission that you are going to keep your kitchen clean, so that way if a bitch were to hit you up on the internet and want to come fuck you, you don't have moldy fucking Philly cheesesteak from 6 months ago out on the counter. Have that be your goddamn mission. And so, people that I know who are obsessed with the negative political climate, I'm kind of obsessed with politics, but not in a negative way. I'm not like you know what I'm saying?
It's like fun. If you look at it from that like non-resistant state.
Yeah, I don't look at political stuff and go like, they're fucking burning down this country. What are they doing to the... I look at politics literally as sports. I know that none of it is... I know it's all a fucking charade. I just look at it and I just go like, dude, Trump's fucking dope. Like, that's my political... Like, you want to know where I stand political? It's like, Trump's fucking dope. But what about this bill that Biden passed through the fucking... I don't know. I was like... Name 5 trade deals that Trump made. No, I don't know. He's just cool, man. Like, he's fucking lit. I love him. Yeah. I don't know. I don't care. You nerds can fucking go through the Library of Congress to look up all the bills passed by Congress while it was fucking democratically run. I don't fucking know or care, dude. You guys suck. So stop focusing on all the negative shit in the world, because also a big part of you is doing that as a cope to not have to work hard at the things in your life. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about how when you even talk about game, one of my core foundations, my core principles, is assuming attraction. And motherfuckers don't want to assume attraction. They want to go the opposite route. They actually want to go, attraction is everything, and women are not attracted to me. I'm not a Chad. I'm not 6'4". I'm not jacked. I'm not rich. So therefore, why would I ever bother to approach women? Why would I ever bother to do it? And because, again, going negative is the perfect cope that your mind needs, because we are very, very good. We are Leonardo da Vinci. We are who painted, Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We are Michelangelo at painting out reasons and excuses and deeply seated copes to not have to do difficult tasks. We are gods at that shit. And so, to anybody who feels that way, who's listening, which I don't think is most of the audience at this point, 28 minutes into this, I think most of the guys listening up to this point are at least a little bit more hopeful. I just want to say that it's not that you're actually doomed to a life of not having anything that you want. It is just that you sometimes you got to fake hope. Sometimes you have to fake hope. You have to fake
optimism.
FF. Yeah, you've got to fake hope. You have to literally go out and be like, I have no evidence whatsoever that bitches like me. I have never had a bitch like me. I've never had a girl like calling me after a date. I've been on 4 dates in my life. They all ghosted me. I have no evidence. But you know what? I'm going to buy into something. I also have no evidence that God exists. I have no evidence that there was a crucifixion or that Jesus Christ himself even existed. I don't care what anybody tells you. There's actually zero historical evidence. So you got to buy into something. So what I would say to you guys is buy into me. Buy into Hunter. Buy into this episode of the podcast telling you that even without evidence that any bitch in this world is ever going to like you, go out and find out. And then at least you can further that you are right. You can actually have some status above us by being correct. If you go out for the next 3 years and no bitch ever likes you after doing hundreds of approaches, you win and we lose. So go at least defeat us. At least cuck us out or something.
Yeah, and I think with the whole belief thing too and optimism, It's like I spent so much of my younger days like optimism without even realizing it. Like you as you get older, you start to notice the effects of people that aren't optimistic. The only person I've ever truly seen that has like way more optimism than anybody I've ever seen is actually Gary Vee. Like Gary Vee with his like V friends, he's like, dude, like this is gonna be like Pokemon. Like it's gonna be as big as Pokemon. I'm like, V friends is not gonna be as big as Pokemon. But then he's so certain that like because he's Gary Vee that I'm like maybe he is gonna be as big as Pokemon. Like you start believing it. He's the most optimistic person ever, and he talks about optimism. Like that motherfucker is like, maybe if we invent this in 5 years, then this could work. Like, it's just like he's not even like looking at reality, right? And that's the thing about beliefs is like, for all these people that have like, that want to be correct and they're like stuck too deep in logic with their beliefs, beliefs are just things you're supposed to have based on happiness. If believing in Jesus makes you happy, believe in Jesus. If it doesn't make you happy, don't believe in Jesus. But then if you start getting so logical about everything in life and you get this badge of honor, like I'm correct about everything, but then some things make you happy and some things don't, and you don't care regardless of like whether or not you're happy or sad, you're never actually like increasing your happiness vibration, right? You're not actually happy because you're happy sometimes when this goes this way. You're unhappy when this goes this way. You're actually conditional. Like you are living basically, you're a leaf in the wind. Like you're basically blowing with the ebb and flow of like the things that are just in front of you, and that's, there's no control over your life. So to be logical is literally to have no control over your life. Like to be optimistic and believe in bigger, better things that make you happy. I mean, some of the craziest, richest, most successful motherfuckers in the world, they're just in dreamland. Like I don't know where Trump's brain is, but he's off in space. Elon's in space. They're just not here on the planet. They're thinking about things that are not in front of them. And so if you're like, happiness is going up and down with the stocks of life, instead of you having the optimism to just believe in what's possible, like Gary Vee or anybody, then you're gonna be unhappy. You know, and that is like kind of the ultimate game. I think the point of life should be happiness. I don't think the point of life should be right. And you know, yeah, I think guys need to get happy, and that's like honestly the only, like that's the only advice I'll give you. Like literally just do any belief, change beliefs that don't make you happy. If you don't like the way it feels, literally change your belief about it. Your life will change.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you have to, sometimes it, you know, obviously it's very difficult to sometimes change a belief, but that's the thing is again, back to the brain needs proof, not promises. You have to sometimes prove in the real physical realm that the belief that you're currently holding that is destroying you is simply not true. And that is why I wanted to call this episode Hope is the Actual Truth. Americans and Europeans not living on the streets. You guys genuinely can step away from the porn. You can genuinely learn something online. You can genuinely learn how to get some government grant to go to a welding school. You can go to bars and talk to bitches. Like, it is all right before you. You have it all at your fucking fingertips, and that's why hope is the truth. And the guys that focus on so much negative shit, it is just to avoid the discomfort of stepping away from the weed, stepping away from the alcohol, the porn, the devices, the doom scrolling, all of that. And this, we've talked about this on recent episodes, but that's something, the being right thing, that's something that I don't remember even when I had the epiphany, but you and I have talked about this, where I just was like, one day I genuinely was like, I'm going to, from now on, just start admitting everything that I'm wrong about.
You said this, and specifically when you came here October, you said, I have no ego anymore.
Right, which obviously that can't be completely true. But when it comes to, I've done an interesting job with that thing, and that is something where, yeah, it was like this conscious decision where I'm like, yeah, I'm just because I remember. Because I used to just hold so tightly onto something. Let's say I told you, like, there's this new Samsung phone. and I tell you, this is going to be the best phone of all time. I'm getting it the day it comes out. You have no idea how amazing it's going to be, whatever. I would buy that phone, and if I hated it to my fucking core, I would still look you dead in your eyes and be like, I was right. It is the best fucking phone on the planet.
You used to die on
all
hills.
the time. I also, again, have no shame in admitting that I would do that. Like, people do this shit all the fucking time, every day, all day. Your opinions and your beliefs, especially if you ever had to defend them, people identify with those. They become you. They become a part of you. Imagine,
bro, and that's a cope.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
like that's a cope. Like the wanting to be right is a cope more than anything.
Absolutely. And if you and that's the thing is if what you do, because there are then also plenty of things where I will die on the hill. But now I will die on the hill because I truly believe it to my absolute core. My absolute core believes that it is true. My soul believes it's true. I believe that there's evidence to back up something I believe is true, and so I will say it's true. But yeah, I mean, like, I think that the sooner you can admit that you are wrong about something or that you have made a mistake, then, you know, the better off you are at just course correcting as soon as you possibly can before you get too old and it potentially is too late. Course corrections, I believe, are very easy before a marriage, and then especially before children, maybe before locking into a certain position at a career where you technically could quit, but there would be you'd be outcasted essentially in major ways. So I think it's important to kind of get this down early on as well. You went and started off at college in a certain major because you told everybody your whole life, I'm going to be a veterinarian. 2 years in, you fucking hate it. Eat your losses. Eat them. Eat your losses. Course correct quick. When you look your friends in the face and you go, dude, I was fucking wrong. Turns out I hate this. I don't know what I want to do in my life, but I hate it. Everyone's going to respect that way fucking more than that negative vibration they're going to get from you where they can tell you're fucking lying and you're like drowning in your hatred. It's profound shit. It really is.
Just because someone wouldn't, you're saying just because someone wouldn't want to admit that they made a mistake, they would just stay in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think people do that all the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But back to, I mean, I do sort of want to tie this in a little bit to game as well for all of you motherfuckers out there listening to this. For one, again, go to coachaaronalexander.com and apply for. This is my last year doing coaching in the field, so I've got New York and LA coming up in the summer. Those are the ones that are a little bit further out. So I will coach you live in person. Hunter, maybe now's not the time to talk about it, but I need. So I can't do. Maybe I really shouldn't say this right now.
Let's hear it. Fuck it.
I can't do 3-day boot camps anymore. I have to do 4-day boot camps. I am willing to do 4 days and not even charge anymore. But my big fear, and I need to talk to people about this, my big fear is that most people let's say there's been a lot of guys who did the boot camps, right? Even guys that you've met when you were like doing every boot camp with me. Let's say all of those guys, a lot of them anyways, maybe, went to their boss. A lot of these guys just have a career.
It's hard to get all the days off work.
It's hard to get all the days off of work. And I'm like, and so I'm literally like, I almost want to give more value on these boot camps. What I want to do is I want to take the time that we currently spend on the boot camp and stretch it over 4 days instead of 3. That's all I want to do. But I just feel like people are going to not be able to get that Monday off as well. Or like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A 4-day weekend. And so I feel like, fuck, what if I go to start launching these and like no one's signing up and I start maybe reaching out to people like, hey, why are you not? And they're just like, oh, I can't get Monday off. There's no way in hell. But I don't know the corporate world. So maybe I need to poll my audience. Guys, this would mean a lot. Instagram DM me at Aaron Alexander Official. Please Instagram DM me and tell me if I did a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday boot camp. You don't have to. I'm not gonna pitch you on. I'm not gonna sell you on it. Just tell me if you had all the money in the world, you could afford it all. You're all in. Could you get off Friday through that coming Monday? But here's the thing, bro. Now they also kind of need Tuesday off to get back, or they fly out Monday evening. Ooh, that's interesting. Maybe they fly out Monday
You could also
evening.
do. There's a couple options. You could also do
Okay.
Thursday to Saturday, and then the other
Thursday to
option
Sunday.
would be Thursday to. Well, you want 4 days.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep. And then also you could do like, let's say you do the 3-day boot camp, but then at the next week there's just a group coaching call online, and now it kind of works with people's schedules. It's a week later, and it's like more so integrating them back into their life to do it, and it's like just after boot camp, like the most motivation possible. And I know that they've reflected on all the physical, and now it's like, okay, let's get you like, it's not over, you know? Like, you also get this group coaching call the week later where we all join up. There's no reason not to like get pumped off of that and be like, yo, I'm gonna go out like this, you know?
Right, right. Thursday through Sunday, and then also potentially like a group coaching call. The group coaching call definitely beforehand. I actually had somebody, who was it? You know how like we give sort of like that same big speech at the beginning of every boot camp with like all the different things that we hit? That is good, but somebody kind of told me that they would almost recommend that I do that on a group Zoom call before the boot camp, and then when we all meet up, it's just action time.
That's honestly, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so maybe it's like there is some sort of coaching prior to your boot camp, almost to prepare you for that live in-person experience. But I don't know, man. I just feel like I need to do these for longer and not cram so much into such a short amount of time. I think about myself as the coach. And I think a lot of the guys, they manage to upkeep their energy. A lot of them definitely do. But, you know, it's like I always tell guys sometimes, I mean, I don't always talk about it, but whenever you guys are just kind of like chilling and maybe you're talking to a couple girls and hanging out and you're like, oh, you know, where's Aaron or something? It's because I'm doing like one-on-one with another student. I'm never the coach who's like hiding off in a corner somewhere. So I kind of never stop. Whenever you guys are having like slower moments, I don't. I'm like over here with this guy now doing his fucking headphone session, getting in more miles of steps. Like, so the boot camps have just been, and maybe I just need to work out more and get in better shape, but they do kill me sometimes. And then I feel near the end like I'm not the best coach I possibly could be. And a part of me almost just wishes, man, I wish these final 4 hours were tomorrow, because I would still be as sharp as I was Friday and Saturday if this was tomorrow. And I'd be like dishing out more gold and value. And but I'll figure this out. Again, I mean, I don't know if this is even really, we'll keep this on here, I guess. But it's just something my soul is telling me to do. My soul is telling me to do an extra day and spread out the time. So I'm going to start by polling the mastermind and asking them what we can do. But yeah, man, we've got to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I see you kill it when we go out. Like, you kill it. You always kill for the students. Like, Aaron is that guy where, like, if he owned, like, a pizza shop or something, he'd be like, come on, boys, like, make those pizzas faster. And then, like, you get up to the counter and you'd be like, yeah, it's just going to be one more minute. Just, here you go. You can sit right here. Here's some extra napkins. Like, Aaron is like the Steve Jobs of this shit. Like, he just is, like, customer service, like, 100%. Like, he's, like, Chick-fil-A employee or some shit.
Big time, man. Big time. Yeah, I try to be, and that's why I'm genuinely like, I want to spread. And look, I'm not even talking about charging more money. I'm talking about like,
Yeah, I know.
same money, everything. I want to do an extra day. My soul's telling me to do it. And don't get me wrong, on Sunday, if you ask any of the students, oh, did Aaron seem dead tired on Sunday? Nobody would say yes. But the thing is, it's because I'm like pounding the fuck out of caffeine to like stay alive. I just went so hard for so many days. And, you know, somebody might be like, well, what about RSD Tyler? He does it. No, he doesn't. They only do fucking night game. We're like the only... I'm like the only motherfucker out here, I think, doing like day game and night game on an entire boot camp.
Yeah.
I remember when I talked to Bradicus, when him and I, right when COVID hit, we were gonna do an immersion, him and I together, and which was gonna be awesome. I got to reach out to him, man. I don't know what he's doing, but I start talking to him, and I go, oh yeah, I did my immersion in Vegas, so da 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 whatever, and I'm like, so we're gonna do day game and then night game, day game, night game, day game, night game. He's like, oh, well, we're not going to do day game and night game on the same day. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, yeah, we'll do like 3 days of day game and then 4 nights of night game or something like that. We spread it out over a week and we just do one session each day. And I go, oh, that makes sense. Because in Vegas, I did 7 fucking days of day game and night game.
Dude,
The
we're
students
killers,
were
man.
dying. Yeah.
We-
yeah, but the
we
students
get-
were physically, I think, injured. I think I killed
We
a guy.
get tired. We get tired students sometimes on that third day.
You
I
called
stand by.
Tobias.
Yeah, I called a student, guys. One time, a student, like on day 3, we're like, "Where's he at?" He's like, "Yeah, I was just like so tired. I started driving home. He's like an hour away." I'm like, "Bro, come back. We're about to have like a chill day." He's like, "It's gonna be chill." I'm like, "Dude, we're just hanging out and we're doing like light day game and like some workshop stuff. Like, it's not gonna be as bad." And he's like, "Okay, I'll come back." Like, I had to fish him back to come back to the boot camp. He was so exhausted. But like, I don't know. I still stand by it. Like, I think guys, there are just guys who only do one or the other, and it's like for boot camp, I think you need to do both. You need to just have a crazy weekend. It also just like fits the air and the energy of women. Like, when you actually interact with them, there's just some weird shit happening. You're gonna be a little more tired. You're gonna stay up late. You don't have a fucking essay or an email or some shit to write the next morning. You're fucking chicks. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it ties into this like fun energy of everything. It makes you live a little. Like, you know, if women didn't exist at all, we wouldn't have to live a little. We'd all sleep and wake up at the same times, and the world would be efficient, and it would just be men being very efficient, and there'd be no women, no fun, no dancing, no music, no staying up late. Women allow for that to happen. Like, you gotta fucking enjoy women and all of women, the daytime side of women and the nighttime side of women, if you want to do boot camp. I genuinely stand by the entire process that we do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, it's incredible, and I'm looking forward to doing it this coming weekend down in Miami. It's going to be really good. It's going to be a good one. And yeah, to anybody on here, I mean, this is my last year coaching, so I really do recommend you guys jump on this opportunity. And Hunter, I mean, we'll talk about it, but yeah, I mean, I'm done. I'm done I'm done doing in-field coaching. So I don't want to
Really?
say why. I don't want to say why exactly, but this is the last opportunity you guys have. So if you ever have been like, man, I've always wanted to work with Aaron, like I'd love to do this boot camp.
And you're in your prime right now. This is like peak Aaron. You're your leanest.
I'm getting there. I will be peak me by May 15th. No, by May 1st. I will be peak.
You have the date.
Peak. Yeah, I'll be in Europe at that time. And so I think
Wow.
I will just have so many Polish bitches on my dick that I will just be like, just fucking like sucking up their energy out of their pussy. So I think I'll just be like fucking, like just so lean, and just like I'll enter like that sort of RV trip headspace where I'm just kind of like bouncing around from city to city and just like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm just, telling some fat bitch like, hey, can I stay with you for a week? And she's like, sure. And then, she's feeding me and shit. So we'll see.
Do you guys listening want to suck the energy out of the pussy?
If that's
Are you
the case,
excited for
you
that?
must sign up. Yes. Dude,
Sign up.
I just want to be an entertainer, man. I just want to entertain
yeah.
people. We've got to get this going, bro. Like, we've got to, because here's the thing. Even if we get this going again, right? Like with what we've talked about, we can set aside, we can make it where we're working on your comedy videos as well.
That'd be cool.
Like, that could have always happened, right? But you weren't in that headspace at that time because you were kind of like all in. But we could make it where it's like, I don't know, like we're going to go spend a month in Miami, so you maybe make some like beach themed video ideas and you're writing them and talking to your friends about them. And then like we're down there and we're meeting up with like Rico and he's filming for us too. And it's just like, we're just like making creative, entertaining content as the world burns around us.
That's what you gotta do, man. You just gotta party as the world burns.
Dude, these guys don't party. And that was what I loved about
Evolution
Teal. Teal
Daily.
was just
Party
like,
as the world burns.
absolutely. Teal was just like, do cocaine, like get laid. That's what Teal was just like yelling at this guy while she was mirroring him.
Do you want to say some nuggets from that? Because we didn't.
I still need to. I'll do a whole video on it. I'm gonna do like a whole solo video where I just like concisely have some things written down. Guys, I was on the modafinil and tried to do this whole breakdown of my Teal Swan event that I went to, and it just didn't go well. The modafinil really fucked me up. So let's before we wrap this up, because we got a little bit of time here, let's try to give them some real value. Because now I'm just sort of ranting about wanting to add a day to the boot camp, and about you and I filming more entertaining videos, and seeing about how we could make that work. But guys, listen, this is what I need. I'm going to say this real quick. I want to provide everybody with an investment opportunity. Okay.
Well,
I want an investment of $100,000. If you're out there listening to this right now and you have $100,000 that you would like to invest, and you can get lawyers, if you have
is this
a lawyer,
Shark Tank right now?
Yes, but okay. So I need $100,000, and if you guys out there, if you have $100,000, actually, I would do 70. $70,000. I need a $70,000 investment. And if you guys invest $70,000 or $100,000, we'll work out a deal of some kind. But and you'll get the money back. It's just I need a short term. I'm working on a short term little scheme right now.
Sounds sketchy. You're like not even saying what it is. You're like, yeah, just give me the money.
So there's this tennis player. There's this tennis player that I know is going to win the Wimbledon. So I need $100,000. No, but for real, if you guys out there have $100,000 of disposable income and you want to become a part of something really, really powerful, I do need a short-term micro investment of $100,000. So you can reach out to me at Aaron Alexander Official, and we can talk about that. But let's provide some value.
Hell yeah.
So,
Are you still? Was there anything with the Hope is the Truth thing that you were still wanting to talk about?
Yes,
Or you want to jump that?
I hope that if you're out there, do you have $100,000 that you'd like to invest, and kind of invest? You will make you'll make something off of it. Like I can guarantee you a 10% return rate, so you're going to get $110,000 back.
Wow.
So that's what I hope is the truth. Is that you reach out?
I hope that's the truth.
And invest $100,000. And then we'll get something really good popping, and you'll be rewarded in a lot of ways. So, all right. That about wraps it up then for this episode. No, let's do real.
You're like, let's give them some real value, and then you spend like 3 minutes on like a pitch for like getting $100,000.
Listen, I just need a micro loan. Okay? It's just a quick investment. I need
DM Aaron your micro loan of $100,000, and he'll give you $110,000.
Yeah, you can Venmo me the $100,000 at,
and then you'll find out what it is after you invest. I guess.
Yes. By the way, any questions you have prior to sending the money will go unanswered. This is not something I'm willing to discuss in any capacity.
Will not further explain.
Will not explain. Absolutely. So if you're out there and you want to go on the ride of a fucking lifetime, the ride is like to give me $100,000 blindly and not know like if you'll ever get it back.
What a ride.
No, I just need a quick 100 G's and also I would accept more. Also, if you guys do have more, I would take even more to kind of throw into this scheme I'm working on right now. So I am looking for investors. But
are you guys getting value out of this?
But you know what? Here's the thing. This is the thing, Hunter. I think when we are children, and let's take this back to Hope for real.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to drop some wisdom. This is not a joke anymore. I'm going to drop some actual wisdom. You know why? Okay, there are two really inspiring shows on Netflix that I don't think most people would view as inspiring. What these are is, number one, The Tinder Swindler. Did you ever watch this?
No.
So there's a quote specifically from it that I found to be really, really incredible, but I don't want to say it because it gives a little too much away. So I will just say to anybody, watch The Tinder Swindler. The guy's fucked up, but there's something about his mentality that you can really take away from it that is incredible. So watch The Tinder Swindler. Then from there, there was this show what was it called? Inventing Anna? Is Anna Delvey. Do you know who this bitch was?
I was this close to watching that actually, but it was a woman who basically didn't she like fake her whole life? She like made up a random person and then got all this money from like this fake human she made up.
100%.
Is that the gist? Yeah.
Yep. She just made up this like fake foreign life that she had, and just one person after another, the way she carried herself, the way that she just so convincingly spoke about who her father was, her family, all of this stuff, like she just ended up on yachts with billionaires and not fucking any of them or anything, but like getting loans from banks, getting fucking like art galleries given to her because, oh, well, she's friends with this billionaire. Of course she's who she says she is, right? Like she just sort of conned her way up to the fucking top until it did finally all like backfire on her. But it is just amazing to see how there have been so many people throughout history that just by sheer fucking force of will, sheer belief in self, sheer like, and when you're doing it, I think when a lot of people are doing it, when she's doing it, she's not thinking to herself, I'm scamming everybody. She's thinking, this is what needs done for me to get to this top where I now can actually provide value to all of these people and actually be the one now with the yacht that I am inviting these people onto and stuff. Like, and it's, you know, it's a dumb show in a lot of ways too, but I just find people, the fucking McAfee, for example, I just like these people. Trump is another great example, right? These people that they just brute force their fucking way to the goddamn top. And I think that when you look at the Teal exercise that she says of getting to the fucking point where you are now dead, you are actually dead and you're in another realm or heaven or whatever it is. Not heaven, because now you're in paradise and you're happy about it. But let's just say you're in another realm and you're looking down at your life. It's like, how did I do that? Like what did I do well? What was I wasting my time on? And run that exercise on paper and then fucking make that change right now. All the shit you're wasting your time on. And I think so much of what we would look at us wasting our time on is like, why did I doubt myself so much? I think when you die, someone comes to you, and maybe it's God, or maybe it's Taylor Swift, or Halsey or something. Somebody comes to you and they just say, the law of attraction is actually everything. All matter is composed of the laws of attraction, of the vibrations of attraction. And you fucked up by not believing in yourself. I think that's just what's going to end up happening.
Just walk through life like your self-belief fucking matters. Because it does.
I wrote down hope and belief is everything. And then what else did I write down for this? Self-story right now, I'm not the guy who, and then desire. Hope is the strongest fuel, but for the vehicle to move, it requires pain, and so being negative and hopeless is cope. So, I wrote, assume you're goated. Self-story. Oh, do I have everything on the back of this? I don't want people to see the back. Okay, cool. Self-story right now. I'm not the guy who... Right now, you're not the guy who walks into Express and buys, like, the suit, or goes into H&M and buys the suit. You're not the guy that goes to whatever that popular bar is that you view as where all the hot people go. I'm not that guy. Oh, the trendy new restaurant in town. I'm not the guy that, like, dresses up and goes there. I'm not the guy that goes up to, you know, fitness bitches when they're walking out of Orange Theory. You guys are just constantly being like, I'm not that guy. Oh, Aaron Alexander is that guy. Leonardo DiCaprio is that guy. Tate's that guy. But that's not me. I just work here. I'm the manager at Best Buy, and that's I stay in my lane. Stop staying in your lane, bitch.
You know what I would do?
Lane sucks.
This is something that I used to do when I was younger, and it always worked for me. It's like, let's say you even don't truly see how you could possibly go from like where you're at to this like other vision of yourself, right? The thing I always did is I said, well, it's gonna happen in the future then. So even if it takes a long time, it's still gonna happen. And like I don't know if everybody in the world wants to play the slow game like I do. I kind of chill through life sometimes, and I can have I have the patience to go through life slowly. But like there is something to be said about like if a belief just seems so far out of the way, you can still always be like, well, I'll be a millionaire in 10 years. And then what that looks like is every year you come back and you're like, okay, what have I improved? Let me get real. What could I change? What should I do this next year that's going to like eventually lead to that? Could I speed it up now? It's been a year. I've learned a lot. Would it maybe not take 10 years now? Like if being a millionaire was your goal. Like, yeah, like I don't know. You could put it off for the future and tell yourself, well, you can at least become that over a period of time. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. So it's like, and then also too, there's the question, the philosophical of like, okay, like if me and my other 9 friends, if none of them even think about any of this shit, but I just dream about being a millionaire all the time, doesn't that separate me from them? Doesn't that mean that in like 5 years I'm going to be much different than my friends and my peers? Doesn't that mean in 10 years I'm going to be so much further? Like, you got to consider that even the desire or the thought of it to desire the things that you want, if they're big things, does separate you from other people, because most people don't even dare to dream, which is crazy.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. That's powerful.
Optimism.
Yeah, you start to, yeah, it is, man. It is. It's optimism, and I get it, man. Like, I get it. Some people, they have just been beaten down so much, and so they do lose that hope. But there's just no way that you made it an hour into this podcast and you're not even wanting to have hope. You at least want to have hope. So, yeah, man, I think some people are just down. It is like when you look at your entire house and the entirety of the house is destroyed. And so you can't even bring yourself, like, why the fuck would I clean up that sauce on the counter? That's not going to do anything. It's not even going to put a dent in it. But you have to. You got to start with the corner you mentioned and the sauce on the counter. One by fucking one. Before you know it, it starts to look a little bit better. And the same goes for your life, guys. Start by, as Jordan Peterson says, cleaning up your room. Start by, just cutting out the carbs a little bit. All right, I'm not going to tell you to lose 100 pounds overnight. Cut the carbs out just a little bit. Right? Go talking to some bitches. Get it going a little bit. So, all right, guys, this was a powerful podcast. Again, if you do have even 50 grand to invest in this little project I got coming up, hit me up. And then if you don't, but you want to do coaching for my final year of coaching, then you guys can reach out to me and we will make something happen. But I would prefer you reach out if you're an investor or somebody willing to take a gamble with that money. And I
don't think that's a very enticing thing to call it a gamble.
Look, listen. All right, guys, listen. If you want to just roll the dice, if you got 50 grand, roll the dice. You want to roll the dice with old Aaron Alexander here, all right?
How about this? If you were going to go to Vegas and spend $50K anyway, why not gamble on a man you can bet on, worth betting on?
You know what? Here's what we're going to do. I need this 100 grand. So here's what we're going to do. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna offer you guys a program real quick before we get off of here. So for $75,000, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be your one-on-one coach every week for an entire year. All right.
Whoa.
But this has to be in cash up front, by the way, or crypto or something. I need it all right now. So, and non-refundable. So crypto or gold. Literally.
Gold.
Like you cannot call the bank or some shit and get it back. So 75 grand. I will be your one-on-one coach for an entire year. And that's going to include 3 different months of us also living together. So we'll do Miami 1 month. We'll do Colombia 1 month. And then we'll do New York or LA another. LA. We'll do LA 1 month. Colombia 1 month. And also Miami for 1 month. And I'll do a call with you every single week, and I will guarantee you throughout this year 12 new lays, guaranteed, zero doubt. We'll put that in writing, 12 new lays. And I will guarantee also a lifetime of friendship. So all of that for 75 grand. I will change your life. Alpha Chad will also be doing calls and stuff with you. I'll discuss that with him, but we'll figure it out.
I'm finding out about this as you guys are.
Yeah, Alpha Chad's going to do, let me think. So every Monday at
I got work, man.
4 or 5 p.m. Here's what's gonna happen. All right, so all right, guys. So 75 grand. Hit me up. I will again guaranteed 12 new lays. So if right now you're like, actually, I'll guarantee 15. No, we'll stick to 12 for now. 12 new lays guaranteed. And you know, again, the vacations of a lifetime and 3 months total of living with me, and yeah, it'll be incredible. So hit me up. And all right, thank you guys for tuning in. Leave a review or something. I don't know. All right, peace.
I'd do that just to be Aaron's friend.